Hi friends, in Planet Earth Dating, it's Friday, June 24th, 2016. We have aspects of Vanovanov Soul Presence in both the Lin Life and the Jamie Body Mind, other teammates in other dimensions, all of us subatomic to someone, and most of us in what we believe to be physical dimensions. For the past 24 hours or so, we've been working with what seems to be a foundational disconnect with regard to how soul presences are relating to physical hosts. We believe that that's what our topic is going to be for the formally videoed portions of today's efforts, but we could be wrong. The session could take a different turn. As always, our foundational intention is to do what is ours to do right now, to live these soul plans right here. What now, in order to live these soul plans right here?
I don't hear anything, by the way.
No, I don't hear anything either. That really does seem to be the best way to get the chatter to stop. And
That's
what do we
true.
know? We know that it's become clear that souls are the parasitic caterpillars, quote unquote, to the body hosts, unless the souls engage in the symbiosis that is supposed to be present. Our Ra used to model this very well. He would, first thing in the morning, attempt to discern what the channeling was for the host lives for that day, so that the lives could get headed in the right direction and know what physical 3D actions to take, or ground zero actions to take, so that their lives remained on track. And that after our Ra finished his process of sentience, that seems to have fallen off the map for the occupying souls. They don't seem to consider what it is that the physical hosts should be doing, to the point that the physical hosts are operating on game theory and following the protocols established by years and years of testing, and then saying, okay, very specifically, what now in order to live these soul plans right here? And then all is quiet, and then what we discover, that the hand is saying, keep going. And what have we learned? What we have learned is that there isn't a plan right now, not a divine plan woven right now at the level of Earth and its environs. There are some tools, the very few tools that the presences who are forming the plan can reach. And why is that? The voice is saying, it's because there are what are called hard pan, impermeable layers, where there is no effective flow vibrationally or informationally or in any other way through the hard pan. It's a disconnect, a hard disconnect.
That's true.
And these portals seem to be closing from above, as the lies fall down, heavier things fall down, heavier energy settles down, and as it really gets very thick in the lower levels, those levels above those thick layers of lies say basically, ew, icky smell, and shut it off, seal it off, not realizing, wait a minute, those are our lies that are falling down. This is a mess that we ourselves are making, and we're responsible for cleaning this up.
That's true.
Hence this effort, the effort to search for truth, the assignment to search for truth, and to conduct the assignment multidimensionally, specifically into the smaller subatomic levels where all this heavy detritus has settled down, and to clean out the detritus that's the foundations of life as we know it for all levels with which we've intersected to date.
That's true.
What now, in order to live these soul plans right here? What now? Very specifically. Or generally, actually.
That's
what now
true.
generally?
Feel a big wave of sadness.
Yes.
I'm not sure where it's coming from, but it feels above this level.
Yes. Definitely above this level. What now? Well, quite clearly, we would say to our friends who are holding meetings, we see how our dear friend, the one we call our Luce, has been holding meetings of soul presences. Holding meetings of soul presences means that they're gathering using the energy of a physical form. And this is always what it means, because meetings have to be held some way, somehow, in some dimension. They're gathering in some element of space-time. So they're gathering in a physical form, in the energy field of a physical form, and they're using the energy of the host life to fuel their meeting, and they don't seem to be arguing with any of that.
No arguments yet.
And then we say, if you don't do something to support that host life, then you are being a parasite. There's no symbiosis, there's no give and take, it's simply parasitic. They start to get angry.
Really huffy, angry. And like, I have a right to be here.
Really? What do you base that on? Oh, that's another way to clear a room.
That's true. I don't hear anything.
No. So once more we say it looks fully parasitic unless you start to do something to support that host life. Now we can see that that host life's dimension is heading into a storm, and that host life seems to be a young gay man, and his community is getting ready to be targeted. Actually, it's already being targeted.
That's true.
What they're saying at that dimensional level, and he needs to move to a safer place. He can't live in the gay part of town. It's not safe. The gay part of town is going to be attacked, unfortunately, and we don't have to like that reality for it to still be true. And when we say to our Luce, look, this guy is getting ready to be under fire, get him to a safe place. So far the attitude seems to be, well, when it gets too tough here, then we'll have to find another place to do our work and hold our gatherings. And we say, hold up, pal. It sounds like what you're advocating and planning, what your intention seems to be, is to abandon this poor guy in his time of greatest need.
That's true.
That is what they're planning to do. They're saying, well, yes, we are planning that, but what, friend?
But what?
Can you see that this is fully parasitic? And beyond that, actually, beyond just parasitic, and into something else, because you're professing to be from the higher dimensions, which means higher in vibration is what it's supposed to mean. It's not supposed to be just a geographic reference.
That's true.
So basically, what you're doing is setting this guy up to feel abandoned by God. And we see those people in the level of Earth and its environs, and the subatomic seems to be almost nothing but people who feel abandoned by God. And I'm not saying that they're anything other than whiny and icky, but we all have to look at our own responsibility for every disaster and not be pointing our fingers out at what the other people are doing wrong, but to examine for ourselves, what can I do better? And so looking at this from the perspective of soul presence, I need to stop abandoning my physical hosts in their hour of need. Duh.
That's true.
And I need to start singing for my supper. I need to start telling them what to do. Not just at random to keep them busy, but to pull them forward on their soul plans. Because for the soul presences to not further the soul plan, we can all see that there's a serious disconnect there, right?
Yes, everyone seems to agree. I don't hear arguments.
Waving the soul plans right now for these two physical hosts, very specifically. What now? In order to live these soul plans right here. What now? Well, let's just go with game theory because they aren't answering. And what do we know? We know we have the spam assignment.
That's true.
Sale, purchase, and move. And that many of us in many dimensions have the spam assignment.
That's true.
For example, that young man that Luce is holding his meetings inside of has a spam assignment. He needs to get out of where he's living, buy a safe place somewhere really unlikely.
That's true.
More land, less grand, like go buy a farmhouse in Vermont, basically.
That's true.
And set up a place to live sustainably when they go burn Boytown.
That's true.
And do it now because it's coming sooner than we think. That's why he's having those dreams.
That's true. And he knows these dreams. He had them when he was a kid. Before scary things would happen, he would have the scary dreams, and the scary things would happen.
And he's having the dreams again, and he's asking Luce, what now? And our Luce is just continuing to hold meetings.
That's
and
true.
so he's thinking, well, I must have it wrong. I must be imagining this.
This must be a different thing.
Right, but it isn't. It's the same thing.
It's the same. I feel
Luce, this guy, he's the kind of life that you should want to support. If you cannot see the commonality between you and him, then you're hung up in the bigotry that souls express toward physical host lives. Can you see that? Maybe he can.
Maybe he can. I'm not sure.
It's how it feels is how it used to feel working with Pan.
Yeah.
In this moment right now he can see it, but the second that our attention moves off this spot, he will no longer be able to see it. When the light moves on, he won't be able to see it. What now? Very specifically, in order to live this soul plan right here, what now? Live streaming up to the amateur videographers. Are you getting this? Oh, they're getting it.
That's true, and that feels really good.
And also calling to the black wolves who have abandoned a project. I don't know why, and that's not my assignment, but to say to them, what are you doing? Get back and do your job. You said you would do something, now do it. Do you feel anybody take motion to do anything?
No, what I felt like leaving sensations. The feeling when people pull out and there's that almost sound.
So I'm really live streaming this up because we've been doing an inquiry this last couple days of who else could we work with other than the Vanovanov Oversouls. And unfortunately, our strong perception continues to be the Vanovanov family is the best of the best.
That is true.
I definitely don't want to work with the family line that includes Betty Jean and Charlie and those presences. That's that huge step down from the Vanovanovs.
No.
And there's nobody else even in the ballpark. And so, friends, live streaming way up. This is what's going on at the Oversoul level with the best of the soul team. You can see that, right?
I feel nodding and seeing sensations.
I do also. I see that. Can play now pass to the next level. Oh, that felt good.
That's true. Somebody doesn't want that to happen because they can feel the play getting closer to where they are. And they don't want to be responsible, but they already are responsible.
We're all on the hook already, friends.
That's the point, I think.
We're all on the hook already. We are, you are, we're all on the hook. What now? In order to live these soul plans right here. And what do these soul plans say? Manifest the divine plan no matter what anyone else does or doesn't do. And where does the project stand? The project stands that we are now to focus on manifesting the divine plan for the smaller subatomic levels, because without soul support from larger levels, we can't manifest a divine plan at the level in which we're operating by definition. So we don't get hung up on what we can't do. We focus on what we can do. We can work on the worlds within worlds. That's and manifest true. A divine plan for the smaller subatomic. And why are we talking to us? Why are you talking to us? We're talking to you because we've got to keep our energy long and lean. If we turn around and look only to the smaller levels, our energy bodies will distort in probably less than 30 seconds.
That's true.
So that would be a disaster. We have to continue to look up and say, what now, what now, what now? And what we see is horrifying. We see you guys are continuing the process of issuing or creating situations of God-Abandonments.
That's true.
You're planning to do it right now with that nice young man that you guys are holding meetings inside of. You're planning to abandon him when the bad things start to happen. That's reprehensible. But now, in order to live these soul plans right here,